Okay, so I'm gonna go over my daily face makeup routine. And this is after I've already like washed my face and put lotion on. So I don't really wash my face in the morning, but I use like a toner and like put it on a little like cotton pad and wipe it on my face, and then I use Neutrogena face lotion. And then when I go to do my makeup, I start off with primer, and I use this Smashbox Photo Focus primer. This is the pore minimizing one, and you can get it at Ulta. But I just use a little bit because I only put it like in my T-zone. So I use like that much, not very much. But I just put it like in the center of my face. So then after I've done that, I move on to foundation. And as I've said before, your foundation, like your brushes that you use is what makes your foundation. So the foundation I've been using is Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and it's only like $6 from Walgreens. But this is an okay one too, one heck of a blot, and it's by Soap and Glory. It's the all day liquid to powder. But if you have dry skin, this is just gonna make you look really dry, like, but it lasts all day. But I've been using the Wet n Wild one more, so I'm kind of in a weird like tan phase right now, so I'm using two different ones to blend them. So this one's cool because it has like a little spatula type thing, and I just put it on. I'm almost out actually. And I put some on my neck because I don't want my face to look tan and then my neck to look a completely different color. So now I'm taking the tanner one and just putting like a little bit more on, but not everywhere. So then my favorite foundation brush is this Morphe one. It's the M439. It's really thick and it just spreads your foundation out really nicely. And the Morphe brushes are not expensive at all. So I just go in like a circular motion towards the center of my face because your face has little hairs on it. And if you go out like that, it's gonna like kick up your hairs and make it look kind of fuzzy. And I just blend. I think I actually need a little more. And some people like to use the beauty blenders, like those makeup sponges, but I feel like a brush, you need less product. And I just like the look of the brush. But I think it's also different with each foundation. Like some foundations look better when you use a makeup sponge. Open the blinds more. Yes, I'm sitting on the floor. Okay. So now that we've done foundation, I'm gonna do concealer. And this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is literally the best concealer on the planet. And this I do use with a makeup sponge. So I just get my sponge wet. And squeeze it out so that it's kind of damp. Alright, so this concealer, this Tarte Shape Tape, I'm using Light Sand. It's a little too light for me, but it's kind of expensive, so I'm not trying to buy a bunch of shades. But I just do a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. The Maybelline concealer I heard is really good too. And it's probably a lot cheaper. I've just never used it. So I did it here, down my nose, on my chin as like a highlighter. So then I just take my beauty sponge that's damp and I blend it all out. And like I said, this shade is way too light for me, but oh well, it is what it is. And I put it on my eyelid because this is what I use to prime my eyelid for the most part. Like if I'm gonna do eyeshadow. This concealer does dry like kind of quickly though, so you gotta work with it fast. Alright, I think that's blended enough for now. Okay, so step 1 was the primer, step 2 was the foundation, step 3 was the concealer. Alright, so now I like to set my concealer. So I use this small brush. It's one of the IT Cosmetic brushes from Ulta. I've just had it forever. And I use this Coty Airspun Loose Foundation Powder. You can get this at Walgreens. It's like $8. But this is what I use to set my face. And they make under eye like powders to set your eyes with. I just don't have any. Some of the makeup gurus will say you have to use a specific eye one to set your concealer. I just use this regular translucent powder, just so it doesn't like crease under my eyes. I just swirl it around, tap, and I put it on my eyelid as well. And then I just put it here because I get oily there sometimes. So we'll use this again later. This does smell like old lady powder though. Alright, so now I will bronze. And I used to be like really into Bare Essentials, like Bare Minerals foundation, the powder foundation, and I still have some left over, so I just use a little bit of this. You can use any bronzer. I use like 3 bronzers. So I just like swirl it in the lid, tap it off. Oh, and this is just a Bare Minerals fluffy brush I have. You can use any like thick fluffy brush, but I wouldn't, this is a little too loose to use for like liquid foundation. And I just go in a 3 motion to give myself like a natural contour. I put it on my neck and then I go all around. You want to make sure you are like getting in your hairline. Alright, and remember I said my concealer is too light, so I put a lot of bronzer under my eyes to try and make it match better. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, so I use this Bare Mineral one because it's not like super like bronze looking at first, so it's a nice like transition. But these 2 other bronzers that I love is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it smells so good. It smells like coconut, and you can get this at Walgreens. And then I have the Hoola by Benefit bronzer. I use this more to contour. It comes with this little brush, but this is really expensive from Ulta. I think it's like 20 or 30 something. I don't know. But it works really well. I like it a lot because it's like a cooler tone. So I use that same brush. And I put it all over. And don't forget to get it on your neck. Contouring kind of scares me, so I just try to do like a lighter contour. I don't want to look like a clown. Okay. I'm using my phone like as my only mirror right now. And then just for fun, I'll take this Physicians Formula bronzer and do another coat over the face. I don't feel like I've covered up my concealer enough to make it match, but oh well, I don't really care today. So there's like a decent contour line right there. And I used to bake, so for the heck of this video, I'll bake. In baking, pretty much, you just take a translucent powder. So I only have this Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder right now, but you would take either a beauty blender or just another brush. Here, I don't know what I want to use for this. I'm just going to use a regular brush because I'm lazy. And you pretty much just take a ton of it, and like I would bake under my contour. Just like loosely pat it in there. And this kind of like cooks your pores in a way, so it makes them like not let oil and stuff break through to your makeup, and it just keeps it like looking really pristine. So you can see there's like a ton of white powder on my face right now, and you just kind of carve out your lines, and then for the fun of it, I'll bake like under my eyes. You would normally use a much smaller brush. It's getting everywhere. So then you can either like go onto your eye makeup and do that while you're baking, or just like go ahead and wipe it off. That's what I do. I don't really bake for a long time. And it's supposed to make your contour line like pop out and be more precise, but I'm not one of those people that likes a really harsh contour. So you can tell it's like a harsher line. I don't know if you're into that. So then after I've done the primer, the foundation, the concealer, and then the bronzer, I go on to blush. And they don't sell this anymore, but this is a limited edition Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette. And it, if I can open it, it has these 3 blushes and these 2 highlighters. This blush is definitely shimmery. This one is more mild, like I would wear this to work. And then this is just like super pink. So I don't know. This is more for like if you're going out, I feel like, the pinks. So for just a chill day, I'm going to use the middle one, the browner one. I just tap. And this brush is an e.l.f. blush brush. So it's easy to find. And then I smile to find like the apples of my cheeks and just lightly go over that, so. I don't look too much like a clown. I also just got this Ulta Velvet Blush. This one is in Honey Bunny. It's more like mild, and I've been wearing that like to work. I don't like a ton of blush. So then after I do blush, I am pretty much done. I just set my entire face. I'm using that same powder foundation brush that I was using, or the bronzer brush, and I take more of that loose powder, tap it, and just kind of go over my whole face and my neck. And this is really what makes you like have more of a matte finish. I put a lot like on my smile lines because my makeup, oh, good job hair. My makeup tends to crease there. Alright, and then if I was like going out and not going to work, I would do highlight, and I'm just gonna go for this Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. You can use a light eyeshadow, you can use anything. Some highlights are way milder than others, but these two are highlights. This is Champagne Pop. It's literally the most beautiful highlight ever. And you can buy this one individually at Sephora. This is Jaclyn Hill and Becca's Champagne Pop. And this is just some gold one. They did limited edition, but I'll just do Champagne Pop. And this is the Morphe M32 brush. It's just a nice like highlighting brush. So I just tap it in because a little goes a long way. And actually dab it off. And then I put it at the top of my cheekbones and kind of take it up. Oh. And then I'll take it down my nose. I don't have a big nose, so I can do this. And then I put it right above my lips because it's supposed to make your lips look fuller. And then a lot of people will put it under their brow bone, like after they've done their eyeshadow, or like the center of their eye. If I'm doing like a light look and I don't want to do a ton of eyeshadow, but I just want to be like semi-glam, I'll put this on my eyelid. But like I said, I don't like a ton of highlight, so I tend to go over my highlight again with translucent powder to tone it down because I don't like looking really shiny. I'm definitely more of like a matte person. And that's it. That's how I do my face makeup. And then I've recently tried to get into like doing my eyeshadow and eye makeup first, and then doing my face makeup, because if you do your face makeup and then your eyeshadow, it'll, at least for me, it tends to like get all over my face. But that's why the translucent powder is nice. I just like wipe it away. So yeah, that's my face. For brows, I use this Benefit Kaboom brow stuff. Brows are my least favorite part of makeup. And then for eyeshadow, this is definitely my favorite palette. It's the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. It has the most beautiful colors. You have all of your like neutrals, nudes, and then if you want to do something fun, you have all of these on the bottom. And then, of course, I'm basic, so all of the Urban Decay palettes I have. But yeah, that's my face. And then if I do set it with something, it's usually, okay, yeah, looks good. Sorry, I couldn't like really see when I was down on the floor, but if I do set it with something, I have this Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water, and it smells really good. This just kind of makes you like feel fresh, so I just spray it on, and it feels amazing. So yeah, and then that's pretty much it for my face. I just take like really good care of my skin. I wash my face every night. I never sleep with makeup on. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed my face makeup video, and have a good day.